More impressively, the fact that since the winning streak has been gone, they've been able to fall behind, come back as they did yesterday. Dernier is in center field. Leading off, Pete Rose at first base batting second. Gary Matthews in left field batting third. Mike Schmidt, back in the lineup, as you know, having played yesterday, is batting fourth. Here's the Padres who will set them defensively. Broderick Perkins is at first base. At second base, Juan Bonilla. Gary Temple in the shortstop. Couple of hits last night, beginning to hit and hit more regularly. And Luis Salazar going to the leadoff spot for the injured Gene Richards is at third. There's Joe LaFay making the start for Gene Richards. In center field, Rupert Jones. And in right, Sixto Toscano. The catcher, of course, Terry Kennedy. The big night last night. And the home run to put the Padres back on top and get the win. There is Sixto in right field. And making the start, John Curtis. The great spring, didn't pitch for quite some time, and has pitched very well since he got back. Again, Schmidt batting in the cleanup spot again. Bo Diaz, the catcher, who won Friday's game, batting fifth. Dick Davis is in right field for Philadelphia. A home run last night in the sixth spot. Dave Roberts, former Padre, batting seventh. And playing second base for Philadelphia, Ivan DeJesus is the shortstop, batting eighth. And former Cub Mike Krukow will start against San Diego. No record against them so far this year. The Padres, Luis Salazar again. You saw him in at third base. The leadoff man, Bonilla second. Templeton batting third at short. Rupert Jones batting cleanup spot. Sixto Toscano in right field batting fifth. Terry Kennedy, the big hero last night, seventh. Then the bottom third, LaFay, Broderick Perkins, and John Curtis. It is a sellout. We mentioned again that block of 1,000 seats for senior citizens has been freed up. So if you're in the area or you want to make the trip down here, once the traffic is alleviated somewhat, you can purchase tickets for this ball game, so it is not technically a sellout as we begin the game. Padres, Phillies, game 3. Welcome. Overcast day. If you didn't get the trip to the beach, it's okay. Sit back. We got baseball for you. Here's Jerry Coleman.
Okay, Ted, and here is Bob Dernier, and this young man can run with any of them. Right-hand batter hitting at 225. 1 for 8 in the series, and it's strike one call. Dernier, a couple of RBIs, 9 hits and 40 trips, has 1 extra base hit, a double. Right by Salazar. Salazar playing wide of the line, couldn't get to it. And Dernier, you can see how he can fly. He almost had an idea, Ted.
He had an idea, and wisely he didn't go, because it's not known exactly who has the absolute best arm in this Padre club, but Joe LaFay would be right up there in terms of the outfielders. If Salazar was an outfielder, maybe he would have the best arm. But LaFay can throw. Dernier first base. And Peter Rose is the batter.
Pete Rose, 1 for 8 in the series. He'll be right-handed against John Curtis. Peter batting at 2.78. A little bit low for him, but when you get to be 41, you never know. He might take it. Dernier, there he goes. First pitch, he's on his way. No chance. Man, I'll tell you, he had that cold. And I'm surprised they didn't throw over at least one time to keep him honest.
Well, he got the great jump, and you could tell from the time that Kennedy got the ball in terms of how close they did not keep him, and the jump that Terry was not going to get there. Throw, though, basically, because it was right on the money, right at the bag, was very close.
1 ball, no strikes, nobody out. Just underway, top of the first inning, San Diego Stadium. Man, we got him here today. Dernier, fast man at second base, dancing around. And it's outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Curtis cannot afford to get too far behind early, and John does have trouble in the early going. If he's going to have a problem, it generally develops in the first couple of innings. Pete Rose heading for 4,000 base hits. Only Ty Cobb has done that. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Dernier, by the way, that was stolen base number 4 on the season.
He's a remarkable young man, Ted. He stole 72 bases last year, and in 3 of his minor league seasons has stolen more than 70. That is a lot of bases. 2 balls, 1 strike. Hazy, overcast day, but a delightful afternoon, gang. It is beautiful here at San Diego Stadium. Curtis missing outside, 3-1. Behind Pete Rose, dangerous batter Gary Matthews. Toscano in right, Jones in center, the left fielder, Joe LaFay. Dernier off at second. And he lost him. Ball 4. Down to first base goes Rose. Not a very auspicious start for John Curtis. He's got runners at first and second and nobody out.
Well, you mentioned that, Jerry, and it's the truth. Having watched Curtis now for a couple of seasons, he has had first and second innings where it was consistently. I cannot remember when he had a strong start. He'd be bouncing him up to the plate on 2 bounces. He had a lot of problems when he settled down, which was normally, after the first couple, he was okay. But starts, awful. And he's extended his workouts, changed things. Hasn't helped.
All right, here's Gary Matthews. Dangerous batter. There goes Dernier. He's got it. John Curtis is not paying any attention to Dernier. He got burned twice. He stole second with these. Now he went to third. You cannot let a man like that do those things as Rose goes down to second and a double steal.
Well, I tell you what, the execution has been less than terrific. Kennedy got rid of it fairly fast, but it didn't matter. This kid can really fly. Great jump, tremendous, tremendous speed.
Phillies now in a rather engaging position with a 1-ball count on Gary Matthews. Runners at second and third and nobody out. Top of the first inning. Dernier will score. They'll get Matthews at first base. So the speed of Dernier really produces a run. Stole second, stole third, comes in on a ground ball. Play goes 6-3.
Kennedy got out because, again, as Jerry mentioned, John was not concerned with the runner based on his speed and the scouting report, which goes over each player and tells him exactly the kind of speed this guy. You got to watch him, got to keep him close, keep him off the bases if at all possible. He did not do that, and Kennedy with a chat along with Salazar to get with Curtis.
Here's Mike Schmidt coming in, the most valuable player of the last couple of years, one of the superstars of the game, and maybe overall the best player playing in 1982. Certainly was in 1980 and 1981 in the National League. He's off to a slow start, batting at 133. Rose at second. Ball 1 the count. Phillies have taken a 1-0 lead on a base hit, a walk, and a couple of stolen bases. Make it 3 stolen bases overall as we look at Dick Williams. There's a man, I'll talk about him in a minute, Ted. You talk about keeping figures and stats of what everybody does down to the final tee. Incredible. Salazar. And Schmidt is out of there. Mike Schmidt has not started to hit yet. In fact, he played his first game in about 20 days last night.
And he means so much to this club. You know, and just topping off the top of our head, just think of someone else in the National League who is as much offensively and defensively as Schmidt is to Philadelphia. I don't think there is a player. You mentioned, Jerry, he may be the best, but in terms of contributing to this club, 35-40% offensively and defensively, without him, they're nowhere near the team they are with him.
And they've lost their all-star second baseman, Manny Trio, as well. So they're playing, or were playing, short 2 of their best players. Here's Bo Diaz, who won the game in the 10th inning the first night in town. Ball 1, and he hit it. Did he hit it? Wow. Diaz batting at 275. He has 5 home runs, never hit more than 7 at any time in his professional career. Curveball. Curtis is missing outside. When he is missing with the ball, it's going out of the plate. In other words, away from the right-hand batters. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 down. 1-0 Philadelphia. We're in the top of the first inning. Dick Davis, who hit a home run last night off of Chris Welsh, is waiting in the on-deck circle as Bo Diaz runs the count to 3-0. Rose at second. We're watching him right now. Three balls, no strikes. And he missed badly on that one. So second walk given up by Curtis here in the first inning. Diaz down to first base. First base coach, we're looking at him, Darren Johnson from San Diego. Down at second, it's Pete Rose. And here comes Dick Davis. You can watch in living color what happened last night, Ted.
Goodbye. Or did he golf that? Not much chance that it was staying in the ballpark. Way gone.
Runners at first and second. Curve gets in there this time, so Curtis gets out in front of Davis.
They have no doubts this guy can hit. And with power. Their problem is the reputation he had in the minor leagues was that he was an absolute butcher in the outfield. But in terms of hitting, when he stepped in for McBride last year, this guy can stroke it.
Nice play by Kennedy on a ball. It was a changeup. Never got near the plate. That missed by about 8 feet. It could be that Curtis is a little bit tense right now.
Take a look at this play. Padres have not had a whole lot going for him here. Nice job by Kennedy to keep it in front of him and make sure there was no advance by the runners. All they needed here was to face second and third again with Davis at the plate.
1 ball, 1 strike. Rose at second base. Diaz at first. 1-0 Philadelphia first inning. A ball and 2 strikes.
Is this the Phillies? I don't recognize them. I watched these guys for 2 years. Wow. I mean, you talk about trading away some players and changing the complexion. I don't recognize these guys. Who are they?
Where's Bob Boone?
I know. Where's Boone? Where's Boa? Et cetera, et cetera.
A ball and 2 strikes. Rupert Jones has it measured. 3 up. The Phillies are gone after a half inning on the SeaWorld scoreboard. It's Philadelphia 1. Padres coming up. Now for the Philadelphia Phillies.
Are we going to look?
We're waiting.
Looking. Again, there'll be at least 2 or 3 names that you've heard before. We were talking about the fact that this club has really changed complexions in terms of Dallas Green leaving as the general manager and going to Chicago, and they have most indefinitely, indubitably, wanted to come up with new people. And the Philadelphia fans, by the way, were not that adverse to making the changes based on what has happened recently. But what they did not have in mind was what has happened so far this season. They have not been very good. Mike Krukow, number 39, former Chicago Cub, making the start. As the Padres, because of John Curtis's shaky start, find themselves behind. But I tell you, based on what Curtis did and did not do in the first inning, in the top half, it could be a lot worse than what it is on the scoreboard now.
Okay, Krukow out of Long Beach going up against Luis Salazar. Had himself a couple of hits last night. He is 2 for 9 in the series, batting at .205, and he can run, and that's why he's leading off. Right on the corner, says the plate umpire, Jerry Dale. Krukow hit the good spot on Luis Salazar. 1 strike. Krukow last year with the Cubs was 9-9. Now that doesn't look like it's as devastating as it is, but if you're a right-hand batter, a breaking ball like that will leave your shoe someplace and your body elsewhere.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. 2-strike pitch. A ball and 2 strikes. 1 and 2. Phillies got a run in the first inning if you missed it. Dernier got himself a single, stole second, then after Rose walked, he and Rose had a double steal as we look at the fan excitement here. Matthews grounded out to drive in Dernier from third. 1 away. Salazar popped it hard, but Krukow got it.
This broadcast comes to you through the courtesy of Budweiser, Toyota, Union Oil, and Jack in the Box restaurants with the permission of the San Diego Padres. Any rebroadcast or other use of this broadcast without its express consent is prohibited.
Here's Juan Bonilla. He's had a good series, 4 for 10, batting at .293, and the little guy had been a tower of strength at second base and at the plate for the Padres since coming over from Cleveland early last year. Strike 1. Bonilla, good number 2 hitter. A little bit high. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-0 Philadelphia. Top of the first inning. Make that, we're in the bottom of the first inning. That's when the Phillies got their run in the top. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 and 2 the count.
To hot dog or not to hot dog? Juan Bonilla is the question. When he's on your team, it's showmanship. When he's on the other team, then he's a hot dog.
1-2 pitch. Second baseman Dave Roberts makes the play, and that closes out Bonilla. The play goes 4-3. Incidentally, while we have a quick moment, we'd like to say hi to our special friend, Roger Hawtrey, who's at Scripps Hospital right now, going through some tests. And Roger, I'll tell you, all we got to say is get out of there, get out here where we need you. We need a little help out here. Gary Templeton, 3 for 10 in the series, batting at .233 as we look at Pat Corrales, a former Philly and Padre. A catcher in the trade, managed Texas for 3 or 4 years. Ball 1. Right in there. A strike. Gary Templeton at 233 has 9 RBIs, 20 hits, and 86 trips, and he swings and misses. Strike 2. Templeton has not hit his stride yet. Lifetime 300 hitter. Krukow working rapidly. And a swing and a miss, and the ball was not nailed by the catcher, and Templeton gets down to first base.
We'll take a look at this again. It's a strikeout, of course, to Krukow. They should have gotten him out. A ball that bounced in the dirt. Went right between the legs of Bo Diaz. A wild one. Was not Diaz's fault. But it gets Templeton life. The Padres likewise with a runner. And Rupert Jones is the batter.
For you folks who go way back, Tommy Hendrick, Mickey Owens, 1941 World Series, had turned it around on a play just like that. Here's Rupert Jones stepping in. Rupert batting at 338. Oh, he had Schmidt back, and he was going to drop one down the third base side. Rupert last night had a walk, a single, a double. Scored a couple of runs and drove one in. 2 for 7 in the series.
San Diego has its newest sports hero, Rupert Jones. Roop's Troops.
Great, great story. In the air, foul territory, and out of play. Count now, 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down. Gary Templeton at first base. He can run. Gary has not run a lot so far this year. He's had some trouble with his knee. But he can go when he makes up his mind. Pretty good split screen shot there. Jones in the lower right doing the hitting. In the dirt. 2 balls, 1 strike.
I don't know who's Roop's Troops who had the idea. There was actually an article in the newspaper. My favorite one, in fact, the afternoon one. I think it was Steve Bishop, I may be wrong, or Bud Poliquin that suggested that, and by golly, they did it.
And there goes Templeton. They got him. So Gary nailed at second base. The play goes 2-6. And the Colby Swamp Meet scoreboard. It's the Phillies 1, the Padres nothing. Dave Roberts, Ivan De Jesus, and Mike Krukow, the bottom third of the lineup. Roberts, who started his career from the University of Oregon right here in San Diego, went on to Houston, now with the Phillies, and in the air. Should be a routine play. Sixto's got it, 1 away. Incidentally, while we have a moment here, Gene Richards had a very minor bit of surgery done on his left knee today. A little bit of cartilage. He'll be out about a month. He's on the disabled list, and the Padres have announced they have brought up Alan Wiggins, who's been here before, an outfielder who was hitting at 306 down in Hawaii.
Budweiser, the king of beers. Reach for that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you.
Ivan De Jesus. A little bit low for a ball. Ivan started with the Dodgers, traded to the Cubs, and last year went over to the Phillies in the Larry Boa deal. In the dirt. 2 balls, no strikes. That has been the pitch when Curtis has problems. He gets down with a breaking ball, Ted. You know, it's in the dirt a lot, and we've seen a lot of that so far.
Yeah, he bounced one badly in that first. Just didn't have the great stuff. And again, could be a lot worse based on how he pitched in the first and 1-0.
3 balls, no strikes. So in compensating, he got a little bit high. Cincinnati leads the Cardinals 5-1 in the 9th inning. First of a doubleheader. 3 balls, 1 strike.
It is not often that a team could lose a Gene Richards and call up a faster player. The Padres have done that with Alan Wiggins. Lose Gene Richards and increase your speed.
This could set up a bunting situation with De Jesus at first base, who can run. And here's the pitcher, Mike Krukow, coming on. A reminder once again, folks, that this afternoon is Senior Citizens Day, and there was a block of seats, about 1,000 of them, saved for the senior citizens who did not claim them. So they are sitting empty. We've got a lot of baseball to go. We've got the Beach Boys coming up in concert right after. So if you're wondering what to do on a beautiful Sunday afternoon, we can tell you where to go. It's right here, San Diego Stadium. Foul back. Salazar couldn't have been 30 feet from the plate when the ball was bunted.
I tell you what, if Krukow swings away, Salazar instantly is a soprano. You know what I mean? Instantly.
De Jesus, good speed. 1 down, 1-0 Philadelphia, second inning. Padres looking for the bunt. Here's Salazar creeping in again. Not quite as rapidly this time. And Krukow made a rather feeble effort at that one. In fact, he has not looked like he is going to take away Phil Rizzuto's job as bunting coach of the Yankees.
Is he as good a bunter as you saw?
Absolutely.
He could do it.
The best right-hand bunter I ever saw.
Mm-hmm. And a long broadcasting career, too.
100 years. The 2-strike pitch. Up, Krukow checked the swing, and that kept him alive. He was going to bunt. Then he saw Salazar jumping on him and started to swing. And it's a foul. No balls, 2 strikes. Had he bunted the ball, of course, all you baseball fans know he would be sitting on the bench. If it had gone foul, as it did, I should say. How about that? A no-ball, 2-strike, perfect bunt. Down to second base goes De Jesus, and that is what is known as execution. Play goes 2-3.
Number 24.
Boy, he looked like he couldn't bunt if he had to risk the farm on it, and then puts down a tremendous bunt. A little bit more distance, they wouldn't have had him at first.
2 down. In scoring position, De Jesus at second base, and here comes Bob Dernier, who singled to left field in the first inning, stole second and third, and came in on an infield grounder by Gary Matthews. And that's been the difference in the game right now, the speed of this young center fielder.
Throw him in there.
Ball 1.
Take your corner.
1 ball, no strikes, 2 out, 1-0 Philadelphia. De Jesus dancing at second. 2 balls, no strikes.
We should point out, by the way, having mentioned that there are seats still available because of the senior citizen situation for the game and the concert, that we are not broadcasting the Beach Boys concert. They would want somewhat more than $1.35 in rights to do that, and we ain't paying. So it's baseball only on Channel 8 this afternoon. Want the concert? You got to come down here.
Dernier on the right side, drifting foul into the seats. And there you see a customer got himself a pretty good play for the afternoon. He's made his day. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 out. Curtis could make his day right now by getting Bob Dernier, who is not an overpowering hitter. He's hitting only a .244. He is 2 for 9 in this series. You got to play a guy like this up tight. You can't give him too much ground in that infield. He'll beat out all the high choppers. De Jesus off second, and Curtis looks him back. That's Eric Gregg umpiring at second base. Two-one delivery. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Throw to second. Nice play by Kennedy. He doesn't do it often, but that was an excellent throw. With 2 down and De Jesus at second base, if he doesn't score on a base hit, he'd have to fall down at third base. He's got outstanding speed. But an excellent play by Kennedy to keep him a little bit closer. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Come on, guys, strike him out.
Two
2 balls and 2 strikes. Dernier checks the swing. 3-2.
We should point out, by the way, that because Philadelphia television is doing this game, we're not in what you'd call the behind home plate vantage point, and we're seated with Padre fans who have been snorting and drinking their lunch here for the last 2 hours. So if you hear some shouts and screams and epithets and profanities, it ain't us.
Payoff pitch. Bonilla. And that's all for Philadelphia. Second inning after 1.5. And the Arrowhead Water scoreboard, it's the Phillies 1, the Padres nothing. Flynn was thrown out at second base. He'll get another crack. Leading off the second, the Phillies are on top 1-0. Ball 1, a high breaking ball. Not even close, that one. Rupert batting at .338. Boy, he's had some start. 24 hits, 71 trips. 2 balls, no strikes. That's what the Padres need is a starter like a Rupert Jones to get on. He's got good speed. Krukow, all by himself, handled that one. Over to first, and the play goes 1-3. 1 up, 1 down, second.
Here's our question of the game, which we will give you an answer to a little bit later. And it is this. What Padre has the most home runs on the road in one season? Most home runs on the road in one season. If you want to send your questions such as that one, or preferably easier, send it to KFMB-TV, Post Office Box 80888. San Diego 92138. If we use your question as we did that person's, we'll give you 2 free tickets to a future Padre game. Answer coming up shortly.
Sixto Lescano up for the first time. Left center field. It's got some distance. It's out there. That'll be a ground rule double. Lescano jumped on the first one for a ground rule double. He came into the game batting at .325.
Here it is. Got a fastball up high, and Sixto knocked the you-know-what out of it. Didn't think it was going to go, and it did not. But off the short temporary wall, Sixto's 8th double of 1982. Well hit ball. Best, obviously, of the entire day so far by either side.
Here's Terry Kennedy, who had himself a big night last night. Kennedy drove in 3 with a sacrifice, a single, and a home run, his first of the year. Down the right field side. Davis. Kennedy hit it right on the button. It was a bad pitch by Krukow. He hung a curveball right into Kennedy's eyes and got away with it.
Well, the Padres have hit their only 2 balls hard the entire day so far, which is a promising sign for them. Krukow be tough. Has been tough on them historically as a Cub.
Here's Joe LaFay stepping in. Joe got a chance to play when Gene Richards went down. As we mentioned earlier, if you missed it, Richards will be out about a month. He's going to have a minor operation on cartilage in the left knee. Alan Wiggins is being called up from Hawaii. Ball 1.
What has Wiggins stolen? 21 of 22 bases. Can this kid move or not?
He is a tremendous runner.
He will be here, by the way, in time for tomorrow night's game against Montreal right here in the stadium. They play Montreal Monday and Tuesday. 7 o'clock starts, as always. And Wiggins will be in uniform.
Krukow with a runner at second. Padres trying to tie it up. A changeup. A little bit high and inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Wiggins, I'm sure you fans remember us telling you this, but if you can believe it, stole 120 bases in 1980 at Lodi. That's almost 1 a game. LaFay took a pitch I think he'd like to have back again. That was a fastball right down there. 2 balls, 1 strike. Phillies on top, 1-0, bottom of the second. LaFay batting at .300. He is 3 for 10, and a strike 2.
One thing I should have pointed out earlier, if you haven't really followed closely the National League East like you might the Padres in the National League West, not only is this not the same Philadelphia team of years past in personnel, they come in here, unlike old Philadelphia teams, they're in last place in the National League East.
Right field, right there is Davis, and the Padres go down here in the second inning after 2 innings of play on the SeaWorld scoreboard. It's the Phillies 1, the Padres 0. We're going into the 3rd inning. Pete Rose is coming on to hit, and Ted Leitner is right here to call it. Theodore?
Thank you, Mr. Coleman. Here is Peter Edward. A walk. 1 of 2 in the first inning, and 3 for the ball game allowed by Curtis so far. It is ball 1. You heard the boos when they introduced him. Pat Corrales, the Philadelphia manager, made the comment after last night that to boo this guy is a mistake. All it does is get him more fired up, more intense, and he'll hurt the other team. That's a fair ball. Salazar, great arm, got him.
Toyota Starlet. Toyota invites you to review the 1982 Toyota Starlet at your local Toyota dealer. Oh, what a feeling to drive a Toyota. Let me say very quickly here, Luis Salazar is becoming one of the best third basemen in all of baseball, if not as good as any right now.
Gary Matthews, fastball's inside. Even when he was learning the position, Luis still had as good an arm as anybody who plays third base in either league. Now with more comfort there, doing a terrific job. Well hit ball right center. Rupert's there.
Well, I hate to hang an old cliche on this one, but baby, you got to hang a star on that one. Look at that. That's extra bases that he took away from Gary Matthews. And Rupert, as fast as you say, Ted becoming a folk hero in San Diego. What a play.
Mike Schmidt.
Georgie's the star hanger.
Here's Mike Schmidt. We can't do inside material on Sundays. Foul back. Tommy Jorgensen, who never really lets Coleman up, basically. Producer at KFMB Radio for these broadcasts. Just hung a big star, a paper star, out the window of the radio booth. A signal intended strictly for Jerry. Change. Another race. Gonna be 2.
Well, what are we talking about? A foot and a half? That's the difference. That short fence for a guy like Mike Schmidt brings the field in to most people about 230 feet. Watch where this hits. That's the difference, a breaking ball.
Number 6, the catcher, Paul Diaz.
So it's only the second hit off Curtis as Terry Kennedy is going back after a short conference with John. There is Schmidt at second base. That's his first extra base hit of the year. As Jerry mentioned, on the disabled list since second week in April. He had to come back in time for this series. Terrific. Catcher Bo Diaz. Missing.
If Curtis gets out of this inning, it'll point up the play of Rupert Jones a little more dramatically on the great grab by the shot off the bat of Gary Matthews.
2 down, a 1-0 Philadelphia lead as they bat here in the top of the third inning. Missing again. 2-1. The Diaz, as Jerry mentioned before, won the ball game with a tremendous shot in the permanent seats in left field leading off the 10th inning Friday, and beat Juan Eichelberger and gave the win to Steve Carlton, his second in a row. Now 2-4 for this staff here. Fastball missing. 3-1.
Pat Corrales, the manager of the Philadelphia Phillies, catcher himself, said this young man has 25 home run potential.
Oh, walked him. 4 for Curtis, first in this inning. He walked 2 in the first, 1 more in the second.
Number 26.
Party time.
Right field.
KFMB B100 group.
That's right. A small crowd of intimate guests, about 700 before the game. Here's Dick Davis. Mentioned in Diaz's home run Friday, he hit 1 yesterday. Phillies had a lead. Padres came back and won it 9-6. They're a game behind Atlanta in the National League West. Curtis behind again.
Ted, Curtis can't continue to do this. He's walked 4. He's fallen behind another hitter. He does not have that kind of strength. And it's a warm day. He's got to start getting the ball over more consistently.
There's Diaz at first. Schmidt beyond him at second base. First and second, 2 gone here, top of the third. 2-0. Davis lined to center his first inning against John to get the final out with no further damage with 2 on. After the one and only run of the ball game had scored on a ground ball. Second conference as Louis goes back to third. Kennedy's had a visit with John this inning. He has had a very Curtis-like beginning. Rocky start. He can settle down and allow 2 hits the rest of the way. And fortunately, they're still in the ball game despite his bad first inning. Working 2-0. 2-1. There's Schmidt. He has very good speed. Like this club has got some speed with Denier. Schmidt. Davis. DeJesus. Matthews. They can run. Templeton. Inning over. So Davis hits into the fourth. John settles down and comes back. Philadelphia top of the third, no runs, a hit. They leave a man on the Colby Swap Meet scoreboard in San Diego Stadium after 2.5. Philadelphia 1, San Diego nothing. To the bottom of the third in San Diego Stadium. The Padres down 1-0. A ball. John Curtis on deck. Luis Salazar to follow. Perk coming in at 298. After a 1-for-4 last night, that's a strike. 1-1.
A good changeup by Krukow. That's one of his best pitches. He hasn't used it much effectively early in the game. Maybe he'll start now.
Matthews in left. Easy chance. 1 up, 1 down here in the bottom of the third.
If you thought leaded premium gasoline was gone forever, then just stop in at Union 76. They still got it. Just ask for 76 Super.
Here's John Curtis. 2-for-4 in the year as a batter. Very, very heavy overcast, but it appears to be warming up. And the sun trying desperately to come through, but hasn't been able to do so yet. A ball to John. Only run of the game came on a ground out when Curtis had a wild and rather rocky and bad first inning. 2-0. Philadelphia with Rose at first, Roberts at second, DeJesus the shortstop, and Schmidt at third. A strike to Curtis, taken all away, 2-1. Krukow again has not started against the Padres this year. Record of 1-2 coming in. And his third chance of the ball game, and Curtis is down 1-3. Second out here in the third to bring up the leadoff man, Luis Salazar. As Jerry mentioned before, Salazar into the leadoff spot yesterday, had a big night as Gene Richards was taken out after that knee that he hurt, 2 weeks ago in Los Angeles. Continues to act up, and so they had minor surgery, and he is out a month. Disabled list as of today, and again, Alan Wiggins has been called up. He was the player of the month for Hawaii. The Padres AAA team, batting .316 and stealing 21 bases in 22 tries. He will replace Richards on the roster. Salazar, strike 1. Wiggins has tremendous speed. He will be officially the fastest Padre as soon as he arrives tomorrow in his uniform for the game tomorrow night against Montreal. Padres will pitch Montefusco tomorrow night against Bill Gullickson and come back with Tim Lawler. The A's Tuesday against Ray Burris. A ball, 1-1. Louis, a ground out, a comeback, one of the 3 chances we mentioned before that Krukow has handled easily so far in the game. Louis 2-for-4 last night. Foul back. Juan Bonilla on deck for San Diego. Again, this is, as of the moment at least, the only game we have scheduled here in San Diego. It is a sellout, so you're able to do it. All our other telecasts, at least at this point, on the road. Salazar, strike 3. That is the first strikeout in the ball game for the right-hander Mike Krukow, as he has for the first time a 1-2-3 inning. Nothing to cross for the Padres in the bottom of the third on the Arrowhead Water scoreboard. Same score, Philadelphia 1, the Padres. Trailing Philadelphia 1-0, but have heart. They trailed yesterday 6-3, and they won it 9-6. Foul back. Bottom third here for Philadelphia in the top half of the fourth. There's Manny Trio with the bat, the regular second baseman who was injured, and they miss him desperately. With Trio and DeJesus, the former Chicago double play combination, they have a superior middle. Not without Trio, they don't. Low and outside, 1-1. Roberts, DeJesus, Krukow scheduled here in the top of the fourth. Philadelphia's only run on the ground out. Mr. Campbell, hello.
That's what they used to say about you.
What's that?
They had a fabulous middle.
Foul back, 1-2. If you're going to come in here and be a smart aleck, you can go back to radio. John Curtis, less than spectacular, quite honestly, to this point. But only behind 1-0. Gave him the fastball, popped him up. Bonilla calling everybody off, going back. 1 away.
So I really have to read this. In addition to Channel 8 reports, remember, Ted Leitner is on KFMB radio every morning with Hudson and Bauer, and every afternoon with a Larson and Leitner show.
He's terrific, this
Ted
Leitner guy.
Leitner Sports, only on KFMB. Mr. Warmth, 76 on your dial.
Would you read that again a little later?
No.
I like that.
I don't have to hang banners, do windows, or read promos for you.
All right. Fastball to Ivan de Jesus. Missing ball one. Krukow on deck. Curtis got in trouble. 2 walks, a ground ball. In the first inning, produced the only run of the ball game. Good pitch. 1-1. There's my favorite broadcasters. Can you imagine getting to do a Phillies game with former ace Philadelphia director Steve Silverman? This is like old home week for the kid.
Perfecto. Got a shot of Danny Dewars in the picture. It was perfect.
Our producer, Dave Bach, who they would not let in the truck until he straightened up his act. De Jesus, one of the 4 walks issued by Curtis Salazar. Nice play.
Number 39, Mike Krukow. Enter.
Look at it again here.
Ted Salazar, quite frankly, is turning into the best defensive third baseman in the league, and that's saying a lot when you're looking at the premier man that everybody considers it, Mike Schmidt. But Salazar has really played a brilliant third base this year.
Krukow. Bonilla. Finally, Curtis settles down and has himself a fine inning. 1, 2, 3. Philadelphia goes down here. Nothing across. Top of the 4th on the SeaWorld scoreboard in San Diego Stadium after 3.5. Phillies 1, Padres nothing. We'll lead it off for San Diego. They need a run to tie. That ain't bad at this stage. John Curtis, a rocky start, finally settled down in the top half of this inning. It'll be Bonilla, Templeton, and Rupert Jones in the home half of the 4th. Mike Krukow. That's foul. Krukow has not been overwhelming to this point.
Best thing Krukow does is really change speeds well on the breaking ball. He's hung quite a few, but like Bonilla, that's the second time Juan's had a pitch to hit and has been well out in front of it.
Juan has hit 15 of 16 ball games. A ball 1-1 over that stretch. 333. 23 for 69. Coming into this to game 3 of the series, Juan at 293. Fastball, a strike. Two balls. 1-2 it is. Scoreboard has it wrong. It is 1-2. Fouled and hit him. Juan did come out. Was he still in the box? He's been called out, and Dick Williams is going to argue. Jerry Dale called him out as he fouled it off, apparently fouled it off. As he came out of the box, it hit him.
Well, let's wait and see if they crank up the replay. The rule says if the ball hits you out of the batter's box, then you are out. Williams obviously arguing, saying get some help, because I didn't think Bonilla was out of the box. Let's see if we get a replay. We're going to have a conference between Paul Runge and Jerry Dale.
So this is, as they say in a trade, getting help. There's Runge, number 17 from San Diego. Lives in El Cajon. Father Ed Runge, former National League umpire himself. Nice people. So Dick's going to wait and decide whether he's going to explode later.
Let's find out on the replay. Remember, if Bonilla is still in the batter's box, he is not out. The ball obviously is going to bounce up and hit him. He was in the batter's box.
Yeah, not even close.
He had not even taken a step. It'll be a travesty of justice if he's called out.
Now, Dale was completely screened on the play by the catcher, Bo Diaz. Runge had an excellent vantage point and should overrule. Or at least recommend that.
He's not going to.
Whoa, I can't believe it.
No matter what angle you look at, Bonilla never even gets his back foot up before the ball hits him, so he can't be out of the batter's box. Watch the front foot. The back foot's just starting to come up when the ball hits him. There's no way.
Nope, not even close. Now, there's a lot of people sitting home now saying, see, if they use instant replays on television and let the umpires see it, this would never happen. And you know, in many instances, I agree with them 1,000%. There's no reason why they can't do an about face, have a videotape replay of our shot, waiting on a monitor right behind home plate in the dugout, the runway, and check it and have it available. At the manager's request, may limit how many times he can ask for it, whatever you want to do in terms of the rules. It's obvious. And he overruled it. He did change it.
Oh, watch Corrales now.
Yep, here he comes. You can make one happy. Obviously, you got to make one mad. But give Dale credit. He's making the right decision. He got other information, and he's changed his mind. Pat, this is not worth getting tossed over.
Well, the Phillies are 6-14 in Pat's first year, and I don't know if he's gone yet, but he may. Look at Dick. He says, I got my point across. I was right.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the street, Pat Corrales is ticked off. Pat, sit down. It's the 4th inning, and you had no good vantage point. You were blocked by everybody. Corrales was in the dugout along the third baseline. He couldn't see it if he tried. He was looked through Dale and through Diaz.
Bonilla had not even taken a step when the ball hit him.
Now, no way Corrales could see. In fact, Dale could not see. They were both screened, and Runge has made the call. Now he'll argue with Runge.
Meanwhile, Krukow will get a drink of water from one of his players on the bench. He's about halfway over to the third base bench, taking a sip of water.
American League, Toronto 5, Kansas City 2 in the top of the 8th in Kansas City.
Did they turn out the lights on a rainy night in Georgia? 10-0 Braves last I saw in the 7th inning.
Braves again start today 1 full game ahead of the Padres after the Braves lost last night. And the Padres came from behind to beat this Philadelphia team 9-6. Corrales, would you go sit down? Okay. Thank you. Can't keep the Beach Boys waiting. Pat, sit down.
What we have is a foul ball.
Juan Bonilla, a count of a ball and 2 strikes. He is the leadoff batter here, bottom of the 4th. It's a 1-0 Philadelphia ball game. Final game of this series, but Montreal's coming to town Monday and Tuesday night. Krukow has been known to do that.
Did it to Sir Winfield many times.
Did he not go after him here in this stadium, I remember?
Yep.
Went to the mound and swung with the right hand, but was tackled from behind by, I believe, Barry Foote, who was the catcher for Chicago at the time when Krukow was with them. That's the way to answer. So that's your basic take that base hit. That's the leadoff single by Bonilla. It took us 10 minutes before we got it. Here's Gary Templeton. Gave him the change. Great play, Rose. And they got 2.
Well, Peter has made himself a good position player wherever he's gone. He spears a double away from Templeton here, and it is academic. Not too many people are going to outrun this one, and Rose makes a big double play for the Phillies. I'd like to remind you about tomorrow night, bargain night. All ticket prices cut in half, plus the lowest price is for $1. You can get in.
There's Rupert Jones. Starts him out with a change, missing 1-0. Padres would have had at the very worst, second and third. Might have scored Bonilla, but I doubt it. Instead, they got nobody on. 2 away, behind 1-0 here, bottom of the 4th. 2-0 on Rupert. Comebacker, his only other try in the 2nd inning. One of a few times, Krukow goes behind 3-0. All away, takes a fastball, 3-1. Yeah, I remember very well. It was late in the ball game when Krukow threw at Winfield, and Winfield went out to deliver a right hook. That's foul back. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 gone in the 4th.
Well, it was not the first occasion. He had done it in spring training. He did it earlier in the year in Chicago. And then finally the third time, Winfield said, that is enough of this.
Personally, I find that distasteful. Got him. Call third strike on Rupert Jones. Second strikeout for Krukow. Padres come up with nothing in the bottom of the fourth on the Colby Swap Meet scoreboard here at San Diego Stadium after 4 full. Philadelphia won by Padres. Nothing. Thought about bunting the first attempt and took a ball rather, and takes ball 2. Leading off in a 1-0 Philadelphia lead, top of the 5th. Dernier did some base running in the first. They would love to keep him someplace other than on the bases. A strike, 2-1. John Curtis against Mike Krukow, game 3. Rubber match. Check swing. Got by Perkins. It'll be 2. With his speed, not a chance. Sixto finally runs it down. Leadoff double all the way.
Well, when you're hot, you're hot. The Padres have been hitting the ball pretty hard at people. Dernier check swing just inside the line. Perky can't get it, and you said, Ted, with Dernier's speed, automatic 2 and maybe 3. B100 FM is presenting the one and only Beach Boys in concert following today's game. B100, where you hear all of San Diego's favorite music in stereo. Set your FM radio to San Diego's best music station, B100 FM. Padres are going to appeal at first base. No, said Satch Davidson, that Dernier touched the bag. So Paul said, well, nice try, guys. So Rose up. Last time Dernier was at second, he stole third, and I hope Curtis remembers. John has a good pickoff move to second. Here's the pitch to Peter. 1 ball on the corner for 1 strike.
I don't think Peter would feel at home on the road or at ease unless they booed him. Every time, every introduction, every stadium, and for the life of me, I can't figure out why.
This will go foul on the third base side. You know, if you boo Pete Rose, that's kind of like booing hot dogs, apple pie, mom,
money.
But he can make a few enemies. Not,
well, see,
they don't
I
like him too well
that.
in New York or L.A.
I understand. It's like we were talking about. You know, Bonilla's a hot dog to the Dodgers, but is a showman to the local fans. It's whose team he's on, that kind of thing. And as a visiting player, Rose is the kind of guy gritty and tough and hustling and barreling in the second, breaking up double plays and all that kind of stuff. But now at this stage of his career, when they see what he's meant to baseball and that he's such a hustler compared to so many guys who have a high canine factor, he's terrific. No sense to boo him now anymore.
1-2. High canine factor. I like it.
As in.
Good play by Kennedy. Dernier didn't pick it up right away. 2-2. 1-0 Phillies. They scored a run in the first. We're in the top of the 5th. Dernier, the runner at second. Nobody out. See how the Padres defense, Pete. They play him to hit the opposite way. Especially when he'll be trying to hit it to right with a man at second. Just off the edge, full count.
We mentioned before, this is our only, at this time at least, scheduled home game of the year, though if the club goes well and there are sellouts, it doesn't preclude the possibility we could do some more. We will show this same matchup, Padres, Philadelphia, in Philadelphia next Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We'll give you the starting times during the course of the telecast. In Philly next weekend.
Rose does his job, moves the man to third. Bonilla tosses him out. 1 gone. So Petey got the man over. And Dernier goes to third. I imagine the Padres will play their infield up with Matthews hitting. If you joined us late, Dernier singled in the first inning. Rose walked after Dernier had stolen second. Then they both pulled a double steal, and then Matthews drove in the run with a ground ball to short. And indeed, the Padres will play the infield tight. We are sitting amongst them today, are we not?
Oh, all around. Snorted a nice lunch. And now they're ready for some baseball.
One strike on Matthews. Curtis is going to have to come up with some good pitches here to score the run as you look at the infield playing in. Bury me at wounded knee on that one. Right off the hands. No balls, 2 strikes on Gary Matthews with Schmidt to follow. 1-0 Phillies, top of the 5th. Got him. Foul tip held onto by Kennedy, and Curtis launches 1 big strikeout. That's his first of the afternoon.
Here's the pitch, and again, John has settled down a whole bunch in the 4th and again here in the 5th.
Number 20, the third baseman, Mike Schmidt.
Broke nicely.
Schmidt doubled off the fence, missing a home run by, you saw the replay, what, a foot?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
At least. That was after Rupert had chased down the drive by Matthews, a spectacular catch. They're near at third, 2 outs. 1 ball and no strikes.
Rupert's catch was a good one, but you don't think it was his best of the year, do you? The one at Atlanta that to take the home run away from Murphy certainly meant more at the time. But they're in the top 3, those 2.
This ball has a chance. It's gone. A home run for Schmidt to the opposite field. It's 3-0 Philadelphia. You think they missed that guy when he was out of the lineup?
Only 35, 40% of their offense and defense, that's all. So he is back for the first time since early April. Played last night, plays today, gets his first extra base hit, a double earlier in the game, and this is his first home run of the year. When you move into fences in this park and this guy comes to town, that's like sending lettuce by rabbit. Something's going to happen. Line drive.
Diaz fouls it off. Well, folks, I don't know what to say about the home run fence, but it sure hasn't helped the Padres. It's helped them on occasion, but the opposition has out-homered them here 2-1. It's pretty.
That means a lot.
Cost them a game on Friday night when Matthews' ball just cleared the fence in right center. Schmidt's ball would not have been a home run, although a run would have scored. 1 ball, 1 strike on Diaz. 2-1. Two and 2. It's like Eric Shaw, the right-hander, will get up. It is Shaw. Count stays 2-2. No, had Lescano gotten back to the wall, I think he might have had a play, but the ball was hit so hard he couldn't get back to the fence in time. There's Eric.
That ball traveled faster than Lescano, which by the rules of physics is going to happen 8 out of 10 times at least.
Diaz strikes out. Kennedy will throw him out, and that'll do it, but the Phillies come up with a pair. After 4.5 innings on the Arrowhead Water scoreboard, Phillies 3, Padres nothing. It'll be Lescano, Kennedy, and LaFay. 2-run homer by Mike Schmidt over the right field fence. His first of the year, but by no means the final one.
Now, there's a chance there'll be about 25 to 30 more.
Lescano doubled back in the 5th. Padres have hit some balls well today, but their sense of direction has not been what you'd call top flight. Lescano hit a 1-hopper over the wall and then 2 lineouts to right foul it. There's a check swing foul. Remember back how that Philly inning began in the 5th. A check swing by Dernier that just crept inside the first base bag for a double. Sixto is now hitting 14 of his last 16. Tantalizing curveball from Krukow. 1-1.
There's a banner in right field which says, "Sixto, we're so glad you existo." Come on.
Ooh, Krukow really pulled the string on the curve, nailed it on the outside corner. It's 1-2. Did he go? I think he did.
Yep.
Strike 3. Krukow has come up with a pretty fair slider to go with that curveball of his, and Lezcano bit the bullet. 4th strikeout for Mike.
A reminder, Lauren Nancaro of News 8 reports on how the elderly are coping with life in downtown San Diego in a special report beginning Monday at 5 on News 8.
This will be playable for Matthews in left. And there are 2 men out in the Padre 5th. So Mr. Krukow has held them down with 2 base hits. A little bit of direction here or there, and they might have something on the board. But if and buts for candy and nuts, and you know the rest of that. The Cubs lost to Atlanta 10-3. Boy, are the Padres getting 0 help from the rest of the Eastern Division or what? Every time you look up, the Western Division teams are winning. Look at that. San Francisco on top of the Mets. Cincinnati won the first of a pair. Houston beat Pittsburgh. Atlanta beat the Cubs. And the beat goes on. Maybe the Expos can do something against the Dodgers. Joe LaFay. It's a floater for ball 1. That curveball at Krukow's is so slow you have a tendency to give up on it, and it kind of just falls into the strike zone sometimes. LaFay. Changeup. Rose doing a little bit of stumbling around, but he beats LaFay, and that'll do it for the Padres on the SeaWorld scoreboard after 5 complete. It is 3-0 Philadelphia. The field being manicured here at San Diego's Jack Murphy Stadium. The Phillies have 3 runs on 4 hits. The Padres no runs on 2 hits. For the home run by Schmidt. Could be a very telling blow before this one's over. Padres looked like they certainly were in it. They were having good swings at Krukow, but last inning, Mike really set the Padres down quite handily. Curtis will look at Davis, Roberts, and De Jesus, and probably John working his final inning as he is due to bat second in the bottom of the 6th. Davis has lined to center and bounced out to shortstop. Montreal is whipping on the Dodgers early. It's 5-0 in the bottom of the 4th. Davis out of Long Beach, former Milwaukee Brewer. Salazar will have no option but to hope it goes foul, and it does. 0-1.
Let me take time here to sell my favorite television station and remind you again this matchup between the Padres and Phillies going to happen again in our regularly scheduled game on your schedules.
The light is on, but I don't think anybody's there.
Padres and Phillies, these starting times next Friday, 5 o'clock start our time. Saturday at 4, Sunday 10:30 in the morning. Next Friday, Saturday, Sunday live from Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia here on Channel 8. End of plug.
Dick Davis swinging fastball. He got a curveball instead. Ball bounced. It's 0-2. Curtis finally found his curveball last inning. It looked like he was going to be in good shape, but he got a fastball out over the plate to Mike Schmidt, and Schmidt lost it over the right field fence. Rupert has a beat. 1 out. Philadelphia's 6th inning.
Don't forget the Padre Gift Store. Those of you who are here in the stadium, or those of you who plan to be here for Montreal games Monday, Tuesday, it's the Padre Gift Store at Gate B as in boy, open 9 to 5 daily with souvenirs, T-shirts, sweatshirts, all kinds of stuff.
Dave Roberts is 0 for 2 this afternoon. It's fly to right and fly to center.
Mention Dave Campbell at the gift store, and any time you get the usual discount of Zippo.
Templeton. 2 outs. Philly 6th inning. You know, Ted, it really looks like Gary still hasn't completely adjusted to playing on an everyday basis on the natural surface. He still gets to the ball, but is still waiting instead of attacking the ball itself. He is so used to playing on that artificial turf, it's just taking him a little longer to get in the groove.
Not unusual, I guess, after all those years. Spent half a dozen years playing half your games, 80 of them, in the AstroTurf in St. Louis. And it is an adjustment. He has gotten off to a slow start. Historically, he should play better.
1-0 into Jesus. Ivan has walked and bounced out. 2 outs. Phillies 6, 3-0. Philadelphia on top of the Padres in rubber of game of a 3-game series. 1-1.
Notice Dave Roberts was wearing number 10, which was Larry Boa's number, and they traded, of course, traded Boa away and picked up Roberts by trade. They didn't exactly retire Larry's number. Gave it away instantly upon his departure.
2 balls, 1 strike. Foul ball left side, 2-2. Roberts told me that it was because I was his idol when I was with the Padres, and that was my number, that he wanted to get it when he went over to Philadelphia.
Okay.
He said he'd do anything to get on the post-game show the other night, including tell that lie. Milwaukee beat Minnesota 11-4. Randy Lurch won it. Williams took the loss. Yankees beat Seattle 4-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
See, Gaylord won his 299th when Seattle beat New York when? Friday night, so Saturday, Sunday, Monday, guess Gaylord will go again
Thursday.
Thursday?
Against the Steinbrenners in Seattle.
Go, Gaylord, go.
3-2 on De Jesus. Ivan might have done John a little favor there. That looked like it might have been low. Atlanta 10, Cubs 3, a final. Houston 6, Pittsburgh 2, a final. Rupert. 3 up, 3 down. Phillies 6. And the Kobe swap meet scoreboard as we head to the bottom half of the 6th inning is Philadelphia 3 and the Padres nothing. Roderick Perkins takes over, and the Phillies have a couple of defensive changes. Gary Maddox, the former Secretary of Defense, goes to center field, and Dernier moves into right. So scratch Dick Davis and put Matthews in the number 6 spot in the batting order. Make that Maddox number 6 in your order. It'll be Perkins. Then a pinch hitter, Tim Flannery's in the on-deck circle for Curtis. And into the top of the order with Luis Salazar. Padres have but 2 hits off Krukow, who has changed speeds very well. Perky lines it to De Jesus, who was playing him that way, and put it away for the out. 1 pitch, 1 out, 6th inning.
Here's the answer to the question of the game, which we asked you a few innings ago if you were not present at the time. The question is, what Padre has the most home runs on the road in one season? The answer is Nate Colbert. Dave Campbell is second, but the winner is Nate Colbert with 22 on the road in 1972. So we will give 2 free tickets to the gentleman who sent us that question. If you have a question to send it. KFMB-TV, Post Office Box 80888. 92138's the zip. We'll give you 2 free tickets to a Padre game if we choose yours at random from those that are sent in. Tim Flannery takes the pitch, 1 ball, no strikes, and that'll be the new Padre pitcher in the 7th, Eric Shaw. Timmy 3 hits 9 times. This will be out of play, 1-1. I think it's magnificent in the day of computers. Why? I would like to ask you a question here. Yes. Why do you have a salt timer on your scorebook? That's an egg timer. Egg timer. I'll tell you in a second. 2 balls and a strike. Well, it's a salt timer. It's a timer which uses salt. It's a 3-minute timer. The most common complaint of fans is you don't give the score enough. So I figure once every 3 minutes is plenty. When the salt runs out, I tell the score. Rose taking himself, and Krukow is really settling down. Flannery, the pinch hitter, goes out. 3 unassisted. But on a muggy day like this, perhaps the salt would be running a little behind, a little slower, to where you would not technically be giving it every 3 minutes, and then we'll get about 3 or 4 phone calls. Well, of course. Sometimes my metabolism slows down a bit on those kind of days, too. Salazar has drawn a blank in 2 trips, a comebacker, and a strikeout. Krukow would be the type of guy that would turn Salazar inside out. He changes speed so well against him. Louis looks at the ball, 1-0. Salazar, a free swinger. Ted, I was singing on the radio last night. Look at part of the crowd here. Between Salazar, Bonilla, and Templeton, the top 3 in the order, they average 1 walk every 20 at-bats. Louis hits one. Matthews misplays this one badly. Louis will make it to third base. Here it is again. They're giving Matthews a two-base error. It'll be a single by Salazar. There's the single. There's the error. I'm not sure he ever touched it, but it goes all the way to the wall. Matthews tracks it down. Louis has the good speed. Not a close play. Padres get a runner to third base.
Gary Matthews, the recipient of today's Gene Locklear Award in left field. Just kidding, Chief. I know you're probably out there listening. Matthews did not play that ball very well. I don't know what Williams wants right now, but he is talking to Jerry Dale, certainly about something.
4 walks, 2 strikeouts, 1 home run.
Give me the line on John Curtis. He worked 6 innings, allowed 4 base hits, 3 runs. He walked 4, struck out 1, and the real damaging blow was the home run by Schmidt in the 5th inning with a man aboard. Again, not sure what Dick particularly wants, but whatever it was just probably a point of order. Three-0 Philadelphia. Padres trying to get on the board here in the bottom of the 6th, and they have Bonilla, who singled his last trip up. He is 1 for 2. Krukow trying to preserve the shutout. 1 strike. Mike gets a good fastball low and at the knees towards the outside. 0-1. Boston handed Texas their 9th loss in a row, 6-0. Red Sox are hot. They've won 11 of 12. Just outside, Jerry Dale kind of craned his neck and said 1-1. Salazar third with 2 outs. Bottom half of the 6th inning. Playable for Denier. That'll do it. Padres threatened but can't cash in on the Arrowhead Water scoreboard after 6. Philadelphia 3, San Diego nothing. That's good marks for the year. They couldn't be any better. He's 3-0. He has allowed no earned runs. The Philly fanatic being hung in effigy. That's cute. That's a cute doll. It's the Philadelphia answer to the San Diego chicken. He is a real live dressed up doll, but they have replicas just like they do of the chicken here. 3-way look at Eric Shaw. Krukow leads off against Eric. 1 strike. Eric has worked in 6 ball games, a total of 14 in the 3rd inning. He's just given up 7 hits and struck out 9. 3-0 Phillies. Krukow bounces 1 through on the right side, finds the hole between Perkins and Bonilla. I'd like to remind you that you do listen to KFMB radio. You get to hear all the Padre games home and away, but listen to what else you get. Hudson and Bauer mornings, Clark Anthony midday, Larson with Leitner afternoon, and Bill Balance, the Wizard of Word at nights, all on 76 KFMB radio. Krukow with the lead single.
Number 24, Bob Dernier.
Dernier is going to bunt, lays down a good one. Salazar can't make a play. Louis in his haste missed it. It'll go as a sacrifice and an error. Phillies have him at 1st and 2nd.
That's an 85.
Give Dernier a sacrifice and charge the error to Salazar. I'll tell you, Louis actually had a play at 2nd because Krukow got a terrible jump off 1st, and Louis just flat bobbled the ball. Here's Rose. Peter going to sacrifice, lays down a good one. Shaw's only play is to first base. In time, Rose does the job. He's advanced a man, and now he lays down a sacrifice. Moving to 3rd is Krukow. To 2nd is Dernier, and Rose makes a real good bunt with the pitcher at 2nd base. Tough situation to bunt. Here's Gary Matthews. The Padres will be forced to play their infield in, and you can't very well walk Matthews to get to Schmidt. Matthews 0 for 3 with an RBI. One strike from Eric. Eric could be giving up his first run here. Whether it would be earned or not, we'd have to do some checking later on. One strike pitch to Gary is just off the corner, 1-1. One ball, one strike on Matthews. Two and one. Jerry Coleman back from radio. Big blow by Schmidt, indeed.
Dave, I thought it was rather unusual, you know, with first base open that they would pitch to Mike or at least give him anything good to hit. But sometimes the best laid plans, of course, and Schmidt popped it over there, and that has been the difference.
Two balls and a strike on Matthews. Two and two. Shaw not giving up without a fight. Phillies on top 3-0 in the 7th. Shaw trying to hold the Phils at bay. Three and two. Teased him with a slider, and Gary just laid off. Oakland starting to play well, beat Cleveland 5-2. Hara and Newman had home runs in that ball game. 3 balls, 2 strikes. He walked him. Bases loaded for Mike Schmidt.
Number 20, Mike Schmidt.
Schmidt is doubled, homered as you look at Dick Williams, who I'm sure could think of a few people he'd rather have at the plate now than Schmidt. He has knocked in a pair for the Phillies this afternoon. Schmidt hit his 315th career homer off John Curtis back in the 5th. One strike. Shao makes a good pitch. A slider towards the outside corner. Krukow at third, Denier at second, and Matthews at first. Could be 2. Tempe himself on to first in time. Big double play for the Padres. It goes 6-3. On the SeaWorld scoreboard, after 6.5, Padres trail the Phillies 3-0. Have life thanks to an inning-ending double play. Gary Templeton took it unassisted off Mike Schmidt. So again, Shao continues to do the good work. Padres have got to get the offense in gear, though, against right-hander Mike Krukow. They've only had 3 hits. It'll be Templeton, Jones, and Lescano. So they got the guys coming up you'd want to see in this situation.
Dave, the best shot the Padres had came in the 2nd inning with 1 down when Lescano doubled. Then Kennedy and LaFay hit rockets right into the waiting glove of the right fielder at that time, Dick Davis. The ball was hit solidly 3 times. They only got 1 hit out of it and no runs.
Now, another big key play was when Bonilla was allowed a second life on a good call when they reversed it, because the replay definitely showed Bonilla still in the box. Then he got a hit, and then Tempe hit a rocket that Rose made a good play on and converted into a double play. Leitner, Matthews makes the catch. So again, the Padres hit it pretty hard to no avail. 1 out, 7th inning.
Don't forget tomorrow night, the Montreal Expos coming into town. It'll be Gary Carter, the highest paid player in all of baseball behind the plate and an outstanding performer. Timmy Range, one of the best base stealers, will be here. It'll be bargain night for you, Dad. All tickets cut in half, and tomorrow night's the night to do it if you're going to take the family out.
This will settle out of play in left field. Rupert this afternoon is 0 for 2. He struck out and bounced out. He did contribute a magnificent catch, though, in center field.
It saved a run. That came when right after Schmidt had doubled. Ahead of it, Matthews. Man, he got robbed.
1-1. Padres need runners, and they have the leading on-base percentage man in the National League at the plate. Rupert Jones, a combination of hits and walks, and Rupert is number 1. He's been on 44% of the time. Boy, that curveball, you just seem to want to give up on it, and it never stops coming. 1-2.
Dave, it's a let-up, almost balloon curve with good bite, and the hitters are just transfixed by it. They can't get that bat going.
Rose will handle it. Gets a Sunday hop on a Sunday afternoon, and there's 2 up and 2 down, and Krukow just rolling along.
If you watch that center field camera and look at the break on that ball, it's incredible. It just we call it a gravity curve, but there's a lot of bite to it, and that's what's deceptive about it.
Sixto has doubled and struck out. Well, Krukow, certainly a big acquisition for the Phillies during the offseason. They gave up their regular catcher, Keith Moreland, and also pitcher Dickie Knowles. Sixto could have swung twice. That was the straight change from Krukow.
Dave, when you talk about Keith Moreland, you're talking about basically a hitter. He's not a good throwing catcher, and in the National League, Diaz is finding that out. They can run so well, they just eat you up alive behind the plate if you can't throw.
Boy, Krukow is just making mincemeat of the Padres. He's throwing the lollipops to good spots. And San Diego just seems transfixed. 1-2. Toscano that time went to a little wider stance and cut down the stride. Bill Gullickson and John Montefusco tomorrow night. Jerry told you about bargain night. Ticket prices start as low as $1. Krukow now can't find the plate. 2-2. On deck is Kennedy. Padres need a runner in the long ball to get back in it. They trailed last night 6-3 and rallied. They have an uphill climb this afternoon. They only have 2 full at-bats and 1 extra out to go. 3-0 Philadelphia, bottom of the 7th inning. Pete Rose says he will take charge, staggers around a bit, but makes the catch and then puts a little mustard on it. And the Colby swap meets scoreboard after 7, 3-0 Philadelphia. In the Western Division today, Montreal leads the Dodgers 8-0 in the 5th. The rest of the Western Division teams have either won or are winning today. Eric Shaw working his 2nd inning, and Jerry's back with a play-by-play.
Okay, Shaw, who came on for John Curtis, staggered through that 7th inning, but got a big double play ball. And we look at, who do we look at? I don't know. None of my friends, I'm sure. Here's Diaz. He takes right in there, strike 1. Diaz walked twice and struck out. Well, also the bad news is the Montreal Expos warming up for their trip in here tomorrow night for a quick 2. Strike. Good hard slider by Eric.
Steve Rogers is pitching for the Expos today. He is one of their best. And, of course, Bill Gullickson, when he gets right, he can be great. He's pitching tomorrow. He struck out 18 batters in the game a couple of years ago.
2-strike pitch. And we'll do it again. No balls and 2 strikes. Padres are trailing in the ball game 3-0. Phillies got a run on the 1st and 2 in the 5th. The big blow in the game, Mike Schmidt's 2-run homer that came on the top of the 5th inning. Eric checking out Kennedy. Slider low and outside. When you're ahead of a hitter like that, 0-2, you can afford to maybe really get reckless and try to get him to go after your pitch. Let's see how he handles it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Good spot, but not quite good enough, says the plate umpire, Jerry Dale. And on the appeal at first base, Paul Runge says no. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ooh. 2-2. He got him that time on a pitch worse than the one before, and that's all for Diaz. 1 up, 1 down, 8th inning.
B100 FM is presenting the Beach Boys in concert following today's game, a sellout, and the single largest gate in Padre history. B100 thanks its listeners and Padre fans for their interest and wants you to know that a similar event is already in the planning stages for a future date with your Padres only from B100 FM.
Here's Sparky Lyle, great relief pitcher, won the Cy Young Award a few years back with the New York Yankees. And also here's Gary Maddox stepping in. First time we've seen him in the series. The regular center fielder has been decked a little bit, is not playing on a day-to-day basis. Pitch on the way is chopped on the third base side, grabbed by Bristol. No balls and 2 strikes, nothing in 2.
One formula the Padres have working pretty well. I'll get to it after this pitch.
Half swing, they call it a ball. A ball and 2 strikes, 1 and 2.
Padres have been starting 3 left-handers in rotation. If they falter a little bit, they bring in Shaw and De Leon, who are extremely effective against right-handed batters.
And Maddox goes down. So Eric Shaw, after faltering a little bit now, picking steam up.
This one a fastball. He blows right past Maddox. Gary swung very tardy on that one. But Floyd Schiffer, Eric Shaw, and Luis De Leon from the right side have done a tremendous job. But because Shaw and De Leon throw sidearm, they're particularly effective against the right-hander. Schiffer's been getting them out from both sides. And then, of course, the ace, Gary Lucas. We haven't seen him in a while. Hope to see him fairly soon. If he gets in this one, the Padres will be close.
Dave Roberts, strike 1. Padre bullpen, the little guy, Danny Boone, is throwing. Phillies lead 3-0. We're in the 8th inning. 2 down, nobody on for the Phillies. 1 ball, 1 strike. You mentioned De Leon, Schiffer, and also you mentioned Eric Shaw, who's in there right now. You got to mention, when you think of those 3, age, all very, very young. In there for a strike, a ball and 2 strikes.
Well, the other thing, Jerry, and we're certainly not suggesting to Dick Williams how to run his club, but if some of the starters don't pick up a little steam, don't be surprised if either Schiffer or Shaw in particular start maybe move into that starting rotation.
Here's the 1-2 delivery on the way. Got him as Shaw strikes out the side against Diaz, Maddox, and Robert. After 7.5 innings of play on the Arrowhead Water scoreboard, it's Phillies 3. Terry Kennedy will start off the last half of the 8th inning. The Padres are trailing 3-0. Mike Krukow spinning a neat 3-hitter. Well, Rose has that one tailor-made, 1 away. Incidentally, we'd like to mention that playing in left field, Greg Gross has taken over for Gary Matthews as we have 1 down here in the last half of the 8th inning. Coming on now with Joe LaFay.
Jerry, the Padres are making it pretty easy on Krukow. That's 3 consecutive innings they've swung at the first pitch, and 3 times they really were not good pitches to hit. Perkins reached out for 1, and then last inning Gary Templeton didn't chase a particularly great pitch, and then this inning Kennedy goes after a low curve on the first pitch.
LaFay takes a changeup right in there. There's Greg Gross playing in left field. We might mention to David, maybe the reason is that Krukow hasn't walked anybody. He's been over the plate all day. This one is high. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away. Phillies 3, Padres nothing. In the air, foul territory. Schmidt, maybe, and no. Well, there it is, along with one of the used receptacles here at San Diego Stadium. What a day we've had here. It is not a bright sun. It's kind of a hazy overcast. The weather is great, though. Feels as though the temperature's about middle 70s. Perfect afternoon for baseball. Fastball. A ball and 2 strikes, 1 and 2. You see Randy Bass in the on-deck circle behind Broderick Perkins in the event that Shaw comes up to hit. Mike Krukow going for a second win. He came into the ball game with a mark of 1 and 2, an ERA of 3.22, 2 and 4 lifetime against the Padres. Curve missed that time. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2 pitch on the way. Strike 3 call. The slow curveball, and LaFay just couldn't uncock the bat, and he's gone. And that is strikeout number 5 for Krukow, the first since the 5th inning.
The first baseman, number 15, Broderick Perkins.
2 down, last half of the 8th inning. Here's Broderick Perkins, who flied to left, lined out to the shortstop.
Krukow is certainly putting out an exhibition of what we refer to as changing speed. You can see so well from that center field camera. Fastball, slider, the slow curve.
Sinker misses low as we're looking at Randy Bass in the on-deck circle. He'll bat for Shaw if Perkins gets on. In the air, Maddox, one of the great outfielders in the game today, hauls it in. After 8 full innings of play on the SeaWorld scoreboard, Philadelphia 3, San Diego nothing. In the 9th inning for Philadelphia, Ivan De Jesus will start it off. He'll be followed by the pitcher, Mike Krukow. Then the top of the order, Bob Dernier. Eric Shaw in for John Curtis. Curtis went the first 6, gave up 4 hits, 3 runs, struck out 2, and he walked 4. 3-0 Philadelphia, 9th inning. On the corner, Shaw is hitting a good groove. When he got the double play ball with the bases loaded in the 7th inning off the bat of Mike Schmidt, Shaw seemed to pick up a little extra juice. He struck out the side in the 8th inning. He got the first strike on De Jesus here in the 9th. Blew it right by. That is not an easy pitch to bunt. It's too hard. If you're lucky and you guess right, the balls you try to bunt are the off-speed pitches, breaking balls, change-ups. When they throw that hard blazer like that, it's a very hard ball to handle and one that's hard to draw to make good for a base hit. 2 strikes. Got him, and that's 4 in a row for Shaw. Oh, is he red hot. Eric Shaw picks up his 4th consecutive strikeout. He got Diaz, Maddox, and Roberts on the 8th. He gets De Jesus to start off the 9th. And here comes Mike Krukow, the only man to get a hit off of Shaw. It came in Shaw's first pitching in the ball game against Krukow. He hit one to right field on the ground between 1st and 2nd. Shaw is up to the task right now. That ball is exploding. A hard slider. Man, he is turning it around. 1 strike pitch. Look at that ball go, although it was outside. Can you imagine what that looks like when it hits the outside part of the plate? Especially when you're right-handed. The 1-1 pitch. Fastball, just pure heat. Blew it by him. A ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2 delivery. And he struck out 5 in a row as Krukow goes down. Eric Shaw is blowing him. Let's check it again. Krukow had no chance. Watch the swing. He didn't have much heart in that. That ball hit the outside part of the plate. So Shaw is going for something you see rarely. 6 in a row. The all-time record belongs to Tom Seaver, 10. It was against the Padres many years ago. Strike called to Bob Dernier. Dernier is singled, doubled, safe on an error, bounced to 2nd. Scored twice. The 1 strike pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1-1 the count. Eric, in the 8th inning, struck him out. In the 9th inning, has the first 2. The 1-1 pitch. Well, that stops the spell, but he'll take it. The play goes 1-3. After 8.5 innings of play on the Colby Swap Meet scoreboard, Phillies 3, Padres nothing. The last half of the 9th inning, the Padres are trailing by 3-0. Philadelphia, 3 runs, 5 hits, 1 error. San Diego, no runs, 3 hits, and 1 error. Mike Krukow, in an effort to go all the way in a complete game and come up with a 2nd win of the year, he'll be facing the lead batter for the San Diego Padres, Dave Edwards. Edwards batting for Shaw. Salazar to follow, then Juan Bonilla. Slow curve, missed for a ball. Haven't seen Edwards around for a while. He's batting at 286, 2 hits and 7 trips. Hasn't played much. Fastball on the corner. Padres and the Montreal Expos tomorrow night, right here at San Diego Stadium. Game time, 7:05. The first of a short 2-game series. Expos with many big superstars coming on as Edwards gets one through Schmidt. They could rule that an error. Let's watch it again and check it out. They're going to give Edwards a base hit. Let's watch it again, though. Schmidt should have caught this ball. It went right through his legs. But they're giving Edwards a base hit, and the Padres get a break. Base hit number 4 off Krukow. And now here comes Luis Salazar. Tomorrow night starting pitchers, John Montefiusco against Bill Gullickson. On Tuesday, Tim Lawler and Ray Burris. Luis takes strike 1. Padres need base runners. They need him in a hurry. Sparky Lyle, the left-hander on the right. Ed Farmer, the right-hander, throwing right there, warming up in the bullpen. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Krukow, trying to come up with a win, has let the front man get on. Gary Lucas throwing in the Padre bullpen. There's Bob Dernier. Oh, he dropped the ball. He had it and lost it. Let's watch it again. This ball, again, should have been caught. Now, he had room. He kind of gave ground and just trickled off his glove. Gave away a little bit to that fence, and, man, those hurt. So the ball that got by Schmidt went for a base hit for Edwards, and Salazar gets new life.
That's got to go as an error on the right field.
They're charging an error to the right fielder. Padres in a late bid, trying to get back into this one. The 1-2 pitch. Right field, not deep enough. Dernier gets a second chance and grabs it. 1 away.
The second baseman, number 3, Juan Bonilla.
Here's Juan Bonilla stepping in. Atlanta beat the Cubs 10-3. Houston down Pittsburgh 6-2. Edwards at first base. Things kind of heating up around here. 1 away. Last of the 9th inning. Phillies lead 3-0. Bonilla takes inside for a ball. 8th inning. Giants lead the Mets 4-3. Playing that game at Candlestick. First of a doubleheader. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Good play by Diaz. That ball missed by about 15 feet of getting up the home plate. 2 balls, no strikes. If the Padres can get Bonilla on, then any batter following is a potential tying run. Krukow faltering a little bit here in the last of the 9th inning. Runner at first. 1 down. 2 balls, no strikes to Bonilla. 3 balls, no strikes. Three balls and 1 strike. Two strikes, 1 down, runner at first, 3-0 Philadelphia. One to the shortstop, De Jesus to Roberts, and that's the ball game.
Thank you.
A double play ball off the bat of Juan Bonilla. Goes 6-4-3, and that's the game as Mike Krukow survives. So Edwards forced at second on the ground ball by Bonilla. On the Arrowhead Water scoreboard, the final score, Philadelphia 3 and San Diego 0.